Good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing? Market looks great. Let me pull up my shorts. Can everyone hear me? My mic is working, right? Or not? Okay, good. Du- du- du. Okay, so doing good, Lars. How are you? Thanks for joining again. We had our ETH news. ETF will most likely get approved. Like I'd give it 90% chance if it doesn't get approved. We'll get a very, very steep retrace, which I don't think many of us want. But what I could see happening is tomorrow or the day after when it gets approved, we get a small sell-off um, into 66 to 67K. Maybe retest EMA 100. Unlikely for me personally, but I could see like this candle getting taken out on BTC here, this low. Just a small support retest from the initial move. That's something I'm waiting for. If we don't get it, I will gladly be a buyer once we accept above 71.6K. Um, and I'll just chase longs there, apart from the sol long we opened earlier. Um, Level wise, 68K is a very important area for us to hold on the H4, but also on the daily time frame. It could get front run at 68.8, as you can see here, right? We have quite a bit of support here. So that's something to keep in mind. Momentum wise, we're curling below my momentum indicator, so that indicates to me that we might see a small retrace as well. So I'm basically just being patient here, and we'll wait what the market gives us. We also have Nvidia earnings today, I think at 22 p.m. Central European time. I don't know what that is in UTC time, but I guess you can figure that out yourself. Um, as for the daily time frame on BTC here, logical place to reject, right? Range high, uh, fourth retest, I would say. Yeah, fourth one in the past 2 months. So I reckon like if we do start accepting above, we will start expanding rapidly. So that's just something I'm eyeing now. I could also see us form like some more candles here, like this one, if we do not break below, and then just create a bullish checkmate and curl upwards. So that's pretty much my BTC plan. Main focus is on going up here. If we get a pullback, we're ready. If we flip, we're also ready, and we just long the breakout. Hello, Saifeska. Welcome in the group. Hope you're doing well. I think AI coins do well today into Nvidia earnings. I mean, spec's been lagging. I personally did not expect that, so maybe I'm completely wrong on AI here. But let's have a look at Fed because Fed looks great, right? I don't know why we just held our long actually. Would have been easier than just closing it and trying to buy it lower again. Um, Fed retested 220, instantly went back to 242 and is now accepting above. So you can expect this to go to 285 at least, right? If Nvidia beats earnings, most likely they will, right? Due to all the things that they have had going on. So if they do, you can most likely see this trend upwards to 285. Very clean chart. Like this is obvious reaccumulation. If we do tap 285 again, you can probably expect a bit of a similar behavior than what BTC just did, right? Small rejection, not a full retest of the range low, but small rejection and then back up. As long as the market stays healthy, yeah. As long as BTC stays healthy. Yeah, whiff was also something we should have kept open, but the ID got invalidated. Like what's the other AI coin saying? Ocean. Ocean has a big supply here, right? Which you want to be careful with. That would be a good TP area for you if they beat earnings, if Nvidia beats earnings. That's only 4% move. I think most of the upside will be in Fed as usual. Yeah, Specs just retesting support again. I mean, I can imagine it will do the same as it did here, which isn't bad. Like big pump, consolidation down, well, move down, move back up again, and then another retest. Looks fairly healthy to me instead of it just going up only. Yeah, 2.80 it would be a good TP for Fed. If you're in from like $2 or something or 2.40 or whatever, 280 to 285 is probably a good TP. Or you can also what you can also do is like scale out between 275 and 285 and gradually TP. Like 10% each percentage or something. That's what I sometimes do. And then when I see momentum actually shift or a big resistance get hit, I fully close my position. Sol was going for a move here together with BTC, right? And it rejected. What's BTC doing low time frame? Not too much, right? Just more chop. If we start getting these 6 a.m. bottoms again during Asia and EU session crossover, I think it's time to change our schedule. Because I remember in 2021 we had like a full month where we would uptrend uh, all the way into London session. I mean, we would trend up during a London session, and then during New York session we would just chop like we're doing now, right? And then during Asia we would pump a bit, then sell off heavily, like you saw last night, and then we would just pump again. Like for example, take Sol here. If you caught that, that's a nice 5% move, which you can just scalp daily. Pretty much how you can compound your gains very easily. Let's go over Sol as well. Um, Pretty much still the same scenario for me here. I want 280 to 284 to get flipped. There's a red box. And if we don't, we can consolidate in between here before we go higher again, which is totally fine. I think after the ETF, we will get some big ripper candle on Sol at some point. Yeah, we'll see if this trend persists, Lars. A good spot entry for Sol. Well, I bought most my Sol between 148 and 128. So that was my accumulation area. But if you're not long yet, you can probably set some sting bits between 172 and 169. And then if this doesn't hold, then it's probably going to 160-ish, like here. 157 to 160. So buy ones here, buy two here. And then ideal, like you don't want us to break below here. Like so that's not even a scenario I'm planning for here, given how bullish BTC looks, right? Yeah, WIF looks banging once again. Really deviated below and took us out only to bounce 30%. Yeah, gold to 100 million market cap doesn't sound unreasonable. Alchemist. Yeah, for Fed, if you reject, if you reject 285 or something, we can probably get back in around 265. I remember um, in March or something. Yeah, in March. This was in March. We longed here, then we took some profit, right? And then it sold back off to 240. And then we just longed again. So you can maybe see another repeat of this here. Because here we also had earnings, right? Didn't we? I think we did. Or we had some, no, we had NVIDIA AI conference, I think. So what you could see is something like this. I think we just chop. No lower, no higher, just chop in this very tight range, Pitasso. Like for example, Bong as well. I think it just chops here and doesn't give any proper pullback unless it's like a fast liquidation week that V bounces. Probably just chop in very small ranges that hold and then up. But BTC looks good, man. If this starts accepting above 71.6, alts will follow very rapidly. TPs for Bong, 60. Like my first TP for Bonk would be 69, I said, but I'm gonna front run that and say 60. And then what you could do is, if you look at this, potentially being a tree drive. I don't know, I haven't looked at RSI if it makes sense to call this a tree drive. But I guess it does. And then you can short this to zero. I mean, not zero, but probably for a decent move. Especially given it's a bear div on the weekly, a tree drive on the weekly. I mean, the wick will probably close above, right? So let's see. 60 is my TP for Bong because if this starts accelerating, it's not going to stop at that 20% candle. And we're long from way lower on spot, so I don't really care about short-term price action here. What's AR doing? W is also again at a range lows. This needs to accept above VMA 100 rapidly. What do I think about Myro? Oh wow. It's up so much. I mean, you could say that this is your first resistance where it's at now, but it's curling up nicely, so it can just keep going as long as it holds this. Like from the daily time frame, it should just keep going. Nice H4 candle too. Got bought up quick. You want to start closing above 229. And then potentially like longeritas if you're not long yet. That's what I would do with Myro. What else do we got? YGG looked good earlier. It started rejecting. Yeah. Retail also not performing too good. Whoa, whoa, what happened here? What's going on here? Interesting. I have no idea if some news came out or it someone just got squeezed here. 'Cause that's an aggressive candle. Let's see if it sustains. If it sustains, maybe it's finally bottomed. Yeah, that's interesting. Pepe. And Pepe is in price discovery. Um, Pretty hard to trade in general. You usually want to wait for a big pullback on BTC and long that. Um, but if you want to get a logical entry, obviously it will be here. But that could get front run, as you can just see here, the last 50 minutes. The last like few 50-minute candles. And it's already flipping momentum again, so that could have been your entry for a scalp. I'm interested to see what's going on with Tia though. It could just be one of those short squeeze candles and now it just fizzles out. If it doesn't fizzle out, then maybe there's actual people buying. Because it's still on resistance here, 1026. What's ETH doing? ETH daily also looks great. Like if we remove everything, we go back to 2021. This is a very big area. Yeah, crypto's my main income. Well, not crypto actually, but stuff related to crypto. Yeah, I think we could get some flash dump soon. I agree with John on that. But for ETH here, ETH just needs to hold 3650, which it's done so far, right? That's a nice support retest, quick bounce, and now it should trend higher and start closing above 330. It starts doing that probably. Um, starts trending above 4K soon. And that's going to be a violent move if you look at the weekly. Once it gets above 4K, there's nothing going on here. And just cents. Like an example of these flash dumps discount is what we saw here on BTC. This type of stuff. See, like the sell-off is already starting, it keeps selling off and then it just V bounces. This one was quite aggressive, to be fair. But you also have smaller ones like this one. Here, here. And that's where you want to use the liquidation strategy, about like the video I post on my YouTube, where you get these liquidation wicks. That's where you want to apply that strategy on higher time frames and just find your own bottoms. Being full-time in a bear market is not profitable at all unless you know what you're doing. I would highly suggest against it, advise against it. It's literally the stupidest thing you can do. Just keep a normal job and trade your spot during the bear. I mean, don't trade your spot. Make sure you know when the bottom's in during the bear and then just buy and chill. That's the best advice I can give you. Don't quit your job to go full-time crypto. Literally the stupidest thing you can do. Unless you can find a job in crypto. Yeah, I mean, these flash dumps can be very, very predatory, right? That's why I don't go over 3x leverage. Like, say you catch this and then you just, it V reverses in your face. It's a nice trade. Usually good to have a list of strong performers before the flash dump, like with right now and Pepe. Then once the flash dump comes, you just long Pepe and Wiv and you outperform everyone. And also probably Sol. I mean, I would assume once ETH starts chilling, Sol is going to rip. Like highly confident in it even. And probably Bonk. Bonk's also doing well, even though it's just consolidating in this tight range. What else do we have? Have I got any long-term indicators for cashing out? Mainly sentiment for me. Sentiment and also, for example, here, I mean, I have this white line on my chart, which is an indicator my friend made, but this actually showed me a bit earlier than most that we were topped in April. I believe we shorted this, right? And then we closed it after 2%. And that alongside with people shaming people for taking profits, that's a very good one. If people start shaming people for taking profits on a certain trade that's up certain amount of percent, say 20 or 30x, then you know like, okay, you guys need to not get so cocky and probably should start taking profit on your backs before you write them all back to zero. What else? I mean, meme coins running used to be a good indicator, but this cycle it's the norm, so it's a tad bit different. I guess a good indicator is the amount of scams popping up on Twitter. Like I'm sure if you've been on Twitter the past 4 months, you saw what's it called? The pre-sale meta, where people were just dumping millions of dollars in pre-sales, and I was like, dude, what are you guys doing? That type of stuff. It's a good top indicator because people have too much disposable capital, so they start um, throwing it into useless shit. Pretty much. That's that's the main takeaway of it, I guess. And I guess also when NFTs do start doing crazy shit, because NFTs are just things to flex on people nowadays. I guess that's it. And also probably Phantom being top one, rank one in the App Store or some shit like that. Not Coinbase Phantom this time, because lots of people are shitcoining on Sol now. BNX. Does that answer your question, Smithy? Jesus, BNX looks amazing. That's a nice breakout. I mean, I don't see how you can long this. You can probably TP somewhere around 153, judging by this daily resistance here, if you want to call this resistance. This whole area, actually, which it's in right now. The supply. Yeah, I don't think Coinbase will be as indicative because Coinbase had a lot of inflows last cycle as well because they got listed uh, on the stock market, right? So a bit different this time. It's Tariq's birthday, guys. Go wish him a happy birthday in general chat. What's OP doing? We need to look at some ETH beta actually. Not doing great. Interesting. Would not expect that given the amount of strength ETH has shown. Probably tells you everything you need to know, right? That you should just long ETH into the ETF if you want to long it into the ETF. I would not. Oh, it probably also looks bad. Yeah. What else do we have? Aave. Yeah, not so interesting. Doge, sure. Let's have a look. Looks okay. I mean, nothing really meaningful happening for me to say like, oh, this is a good long or a good short. Like it retested 16.3, which it bounced off nicely. It's not too volatile compared to other alts. So you just wanted to get above 17.8 now, which is a weekly resistance, which we just marked. Like it needs to get above this whole area. As you can see, it's a heavy resistance. What else do we have? Say. Say was doing well the last days, right? Again, it again rejected this resistance. I mean, it just needs to hold the daily EMA 200 here. But it's bouncing between EMA 200 and 100 on the H4. So that just tells me it has no clear trend. So you probably want to avoid it. Like take Sol, for example. It also did this, but then once it broke out here, this was your actual indication of, okay, the trend has flipped because we broke above EMA 100 and 200 on the H4, right? Fairly aggressive too. And then we retested a fairly obvious support around 156, and then we started going higher. And while it started going higher, EMA 100 and EMA 200 crossed over in each other with EMA 100 leading again. This is usually the biggest indicator for you to say like, okay, the trend has flipped. This is also a very good area to place sting bits in a trending market that's in an uptrend. Because if we get this big leverage flush later on, you can just bet EMA 100 safely. I mean, with confidence. Because it usually just bounces off EMA 100 fairly quick. Once it does, if we are in an actual uptrend, right? Seems like we're going up again. Nice. AXL. Let me check. Now this is the same scenario as say. It's above below all trends, right? Even if it's up 4% on the day, this is not something that looks very appealing to me too long. Because this was your range, right? Between 127 and 103. And it accepted below, and now it's consolidating below. So it needs to reclaim this first, and then maybe you can target 127. But then you have also all your EMAs here, momentum indicators that need to flip. What do you mean offset? How are you doing, by the way? ARB. Ah. Ah, ARB, interestingly enough, is above EMA 100 and EMA 200. I did not expect that. I'll be honest. I mean, I guess you wanted to get above this resistance. 122. This is your range now. If it's actually bullish, it holds EMA 200 here and it keeps going higher. And then in the meantime, EMA 100 curls up and you get a parabolic move to at least 140. But it's such a weird coin to trade that I just never touched it because of ETH mainly. I mean, I'm not saying you should close say now. That's not really my intention, but what you should just consider is if you need to take a new long here, then you probably want to wait for more momentum, like flipping 0.58, which isn't that far away. It just purely depends on your own plan, right? It entirely depends on your own plan. AVAX. I guess AVAX looks similar to Sol, right? It's doing what Sol did, right? Look at the EMA 100 here. Now you want it to curl and go. And it's above the range high. Actually, AVAX. Maybe we should long AVAX here. I quite like this for long. Yeah, I'm gonna buy some spot. I mean, if you want to scalp this, even it has a very clear invalidation, right? Closing back inside this range. Um, Let me type that out. So this would be your trade, right? I mean, let's take a 6% stop. I don't use hard stops personally. That's how I trade. But if you were to use a hard stop, it's below this area. Daily looks very good. I like this EMA 100 retest most of all. And then you have EMA 100 here. EMA 100 and EMA 200 on the H4 curling up. Looks good. And I mean, the thing is, even if we're entering spot here into the ETTF, um, you can probably get in leverage if we get a bigger wipe tomorrow or the day after. TPs for AVAX 60. I mean, wait, I'll give some actually. $47, $48. Because you have this big supply here and also this resistance. And here, around 53, 54. And then 60. I will manually announce when I TP. I don't like putting like static TPs. Because you just have people and copy trading groups front run that and then your TPs don't hit. So I just manually TP. I don't use FIPS, only on price discovery. Whereas like spec's a good example. Take spec here. Like actually between 18 and 19 is my next CP for spec. If Nvidia earnings are good, I think they will be. But let's see. Would I say $100 is a good TP for Tia? If it does manage to trend again, then maybe, yeah. Yeah, I think so. It was my TP initially when we hit 20 first, but I don't know if there's enough liquidity in the market for us to go that high on Tia in general. But it's doing very well, isn't it? It's not going to give any proper meaningful pullback. Any other charts you guys want me to look at? Myro is actually leading. Crazy. Maybe some on-chain. Like Normie. I mean, I've had Normie shield to me so many times. Actually insane. This one, right? This looks fairly bottomed. Resistance 59. It's Fernando, me and Pat are just joking. We're very good friends. It's just banter. we just we just take the piss out of each other on the regular. TP again for Tia. I mean, I don't have any TPs for Tia for long-term bags yet. I will announce those as I take them. I would short Myro being the strongest asset in the market, but that's up to you. Short weakness, not strength. Andy and Blast. What's Andy? I'm sure Andy is the. Yeah, this Andy. From it's the same as Pepe and Brett, right? From the same cartoon. Yeah. It's on nice support here. They're really going to do Pepe on ETH, Andy on Blast, and Brett on base because base is blue, and Andy on Blast because Blast is yellow. Which other one do we have? You have like the Sasquatch as well, right? Um, yeah, the Sasquatch. This guy. Which chain will he go on? Not Solana, that's for sure. Uh, I gave TPs for AVX. Yeah, one sec. I'll go over them again for you. It's selling off though. We bought the top, guys. It's over. It's over. No, I'm joking. 46 between 48 and 53 and 54 and then 60. Maybe bear chain because it's brown. Will be for the Sasquatch. LQTY. It's just ranging actually. I wouldn't touch this for now. Like trending wise, it's also not the best. AVX looks miles better because it reclaimed it. It closed above its range. NXRA. Also not, no, I wouldn't touch this. See, McDonald's pattern. Like trend is broken. This is your resistance. And it's just ranging. Just gonna range until it has some crazy news or whatever. CCAM now. Also, just ranging here. X swap, yeah, sure. Like this is also just ranging. I wouldn't touch this until it breaks above, or until it goes to range low. But there's not really any volume. You see how much volume died since the sell-off. I probably don't want to touch that. How is our Sol Long doing? Okay. X swap. You mean this one? Time machine? I hope it's not this one. I mean, this is also just dropping. You could you could argue it's forming a bull flag, but TA wise, there's not really anything going on. You want to see volume kick in and it rip higher. Be careful trading on base and a blast. Sorry, there's loads of rugs on base and blast, or like slow bleeds to zero. It's a good volume to take into consideration. I mean, there's no real set number. Um, you can link to it. See you, Offset. Thanks for joining. What's up, New Wave? I see you. You can just notice it by if you compare the first few volume candles with the others. I mean, right now it's only doing 54K volume a day. Kurugi AI. What's that? Do I even want to open this? You mean this one, yeah? What's going on here? How is it? Why is it? I see, okay. This is also a common trap people make you believe is bullish, right? It's 100 million market cap, but you only have $1 million of liquidity to sell into. So how are you ever going to exit your $1 million position? You're not. Always look at liquidity when trading on chain, comparative to the market cap. Like for example, look at Pepe. Or no, wait, Riv is decent, but still not great. Um, with you see, with it's also bad example. They have more pools though, right? I'm fairly sure they have more. Yeah, here. This is the original one. Yeah, here. You see that it has 23 million in liquidity. That's like how much is that? 8%? Jesus Christ. 8%, yeah, more or less. What ratio would I say is good? I mean, 5% is actually the bare fucking minimum. I feel that's my personal opinion, right? I'm sure there's people that will tell you otherwise, but 5% is the bare minimum. I mean, 10% is ideal, or 20 even, depending on the token. Like what does Golazzo have? It also has like 5%, right? What other coins? Myro. And for Sol, usually the most pairs launch on Radium first and then on Orca. So take the Radium pair as an example. Yeah, Myro is also decent. It's like what, almost 20%? Say 15. At a daily percentage portfolio, what would it be? It depends on your uh, risk profile. I remember doing the challenge in Well Group, like in wait, the plan. Where's the plan? Do we still have the plan? I'm sure we do, right? Yeah, here, this channel. Let me pull it up. In the plan, you have like this um, Google Doc where you can track how much percentage you want to make each day. But the issue with this is, for me, I'm sure it's different for someone else, is that I would really want to hit that 5%, and if I didn't hit it, I would overtrade and ruin my profits. So I guess it really depends on your risk profile. I think 2% daily is good, but you need to keep in mind that conditions change and maybe there will be days you won't be able to make 2%. So then you need to adapt or just not trade at all. So at least you don't lose any money. But what I would do is trade every day and then ruin it, ruin my win streak as a consequence of that. Yeah, you're right, Picasso. I can't count. It's 1.6. Ratio liquidity mark. Yeah, yeah. But it shouldn't be like less than that. Jesus, I can't calculate. Oh my God. Pro trader, by the way. Web is decent because it has 23 million in liquidity and it's trading on exchanges now. So that I assume that's also why it's lower now. But before that, it was a bit different. Like use the plan and RD, and if you notice that you're unable to hit your goals, just adjust that expectation. Can you share your portfolio percentage in spot leverage and USDT? I'm 5% leverage and 95% spot. Tito died. Yeah, it's very weak. Also accepting below this age for trend. It's just going to do this chop again, isn't it? Awful. But here also, you see, EMA 100, EMA 200 crossover, and it just starts ripping. That's what AVAX should do now for us. Ideally. Can take a while. I got time. I can wait. What's Solid doing? Solid's probably topped, right? Yeah, decent pullback. Also bouncing at a logical place. If it can close the weekly above this, that would be epic. AR also showing some weakness. Like AR and Jito were both very strong when we were topping, and now they're showing weakness. So it will probably stay like that. What's Ondo doing? Ondo looks fairly top to me personally, by the way. I think this is just going to keep ranging for a while, especially given Larry Fink isn't pushing RWA as much as he's too focused on it. You see this, I expected this as a breakout, but it just fizzled out instantly. You guys have any other short requests? Otherwise, I will round it up here. Oh my god, no way. They're really doing this again, aren't they? Oh god. ENA. I good ETH beta potentially. I swear I had a short of it. Finance one. Yeah, here you go. 0.80 had to hold, which it did on the daily, right? We retested nicely. So now we can probably expect us to head towards 92 again. And then here it is yet to see like what the reaction will be. Maybe small retrace and then more chop and then higher. Ideally higher. And then once 92.6 gets flipped, this would be your next resistance area of 105, 108. I'm not going to actively trade NVIDIA earnings, but I have my spec spot position for the group. So depending on that, I will either close it or let it run for a couple more hours and then TP it at the TPs I want. Regardless, very nice win for us. ENA is one you should probably focus on as ETH beta. Like, if you look at it from a daily perspective, this is just one big deviation. Ring AI, I heard that before. Not this one, right? See you, Lars. Thanks for joining. Yeah, this one. Looks good. Reclaim 21.4. So you can probably target 34 if it's actually strong. There's not too much volume though, as you can see. Zero volume today. Zero volume the last 5 minutes, sorry. Not too much volume today, regardless. 84K. With dropping. Yes, again rejecting here. I think you can probably your best and safest way to long with is when it crosses the EMAs. And then you just buy that cross, regardless of where it is. Then place some alerts here. 295. All right, I'm gonna round it up there, guys. Thank you all for joining. Have a nice week, and see you guys tomorrow. I think I'm streaming tomorrow, right? Yeah, see you guys tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye bye.